Yeah, I'll start the class. Very good morning to all. So today's class is entity relationship model. So already we have seen what is entity, what is uh, attribute, what is relationship. In this class, we need to discuss about in detail of an entity relationship model. My voice is audible to all? Hello,
Yes,
hello.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Right? So these are the contents of entity relationship model. We need to see what is entity sets, relationship sets, and design issues of ER model, and mapping constraints, key constraints, ER diagrams, extended ER features, and the design of ER database schema and reduction of ER schema and etc. So these are all different types of topics in entity relationship model. So we can see step by step in detail here. The previous class we have seen what is entity, what is relationship, what is attribute. Just these are basics only. In this class you will see in detail concepts of ER model. Right? So basically, if you want to know the details of ER model, we have different notations in ER model, entity relationship model. So already we know that this is represented by entity. This symbol is called as rectangle, right? This is represented attribute. This symbol is called as ellipse, and this is represented for relationship. This is called a diamond symbol. This is line link. This can be used for link the attributes and entities and attributes also. This is a line symbol. It links attributes to entity sets and entity sets or entities and relationships also, right? This can be used to link the attributes and entities. And double ellipse, this is double ellipse which represents multi-valued attributes, right? Remember the double ellipse represents multi-valued attributes. The next one is last one is dashed ellipse, which is called, it denotes derived attributes. It denotes derived attribute. Dashed ellipse means denotes derived attributes. Next symbols are here. Double line represent total participation of entity. We will see later. So total participation of the entity. Next represents weak entity. Weak entity means double rectangle. Rectangle within the rectangle. Double rectangle. Weak entity. The next one is represents weak relationships. Double diamond symbol. Double diamond symbols. It represents weak relationship, right? The next one is represents composite attributes. So composite attributes, so multiple ellipses connected to a single ellipse using lines. So this is one attribute. It is having two more attribute that is called as a composite attribute. The next one is ellipse with a line, right? It represents a single valued attribute. Single valued attribute. Here, if you see here, weak entity and weak relationship. Weak entity means, for suppose, if you take a employee table, the employee table consists of employee ID, employee name, employee salary. Here, the primary key or unique key is employee ID. Primary key or unique key is employee ID, right? So if the table consisting of a primary key, that table or that entity is called a strong entity. We can represent that strong entity in a single rectangle only. So because that is a strong entity. So for suppose if the employee if the employee table does not contain employee ID, It is having only employee name, employee salary, and employee branch. So we cannot say either of one is a primary key, because the employee name is a redundant name is there. So same Suresh, K Suresh is there, S Suresh is there. Suresh names are this, different Suresh names are there, right? So employee salary, two or three salaries are equal to the different employees. Next, next one is branch. Same branches are also appearing inside the column, right? So we cannot represent these columns as a unique, so that we cannot represent this is in a single rectangle, right? The single rectangle represents only for strong entity, because it is having employee id is there, unique id is there, so that it has a primary key is there, so that it has a strong entity. If the entity does not have proper primary key, that entity is called weak entity, so that it can represent it using double rectangle, right? The next one is represents weak relationship. If the relationship connecting with the weak entity, that relationship is automatically called as weak relationship, right? This is weak entity and weak relationship, right? Okay, the next what is entity set? What is entity sets? So basically, a database can be modeled as collection of entities, collection of objects, right? A relationship among entities. These two are can be used in database modeling, right? What is entity? An entity is an object that exists and indistinguishable from other objects. For example, we have an example a specific person and a company, event, plant. All these are comes under entity set, right? So entity, right? Entities have attributes. For example, people have names and addresses. Names and addresses, these two are attributes of the people, right? So finally, the definition of the entity is in a object in the real world, and attribute is a the characteristic features of entity. Here, names and addresses, these two are characteristic features of entity people, right? Next one. An entity set is a set of entities of the same type that share the same properties. For example, set of all persons. Here, here entity specific person. Here, set of all persons are comes under persons group. Set of all companies are yeah, comes under companies group. Set of all trees are trees group. Holidays, right? All these are entity sets. This is entity specific, person specific, company specific event, that is comes under entity. So the groups which are in one place, that is called having their own characteristic, that is called as entity set. It's like a what is that inheritance in Java, in OOPS, right? This is entity, attribute, and entity set. Next, entity sets customer and loan. All these are customers group. All these are customers group, right? This is one entity set. All these are loans group. All these are same data type, having same type, which is called as loans group. Loans data entity set. This is customer entity set. Like that, we have to call entity set, right? Next, attributes. An entity, already I told the simple definition is that the attribute is the characteristic features of entity. Here the definition is an entity is represented by a set of attributes. You know that is descriptive properties of possessed by all the members of an entity set. Both are same. Both definitions are same. For example, If you take customer equal to customer ID comma customer name comma, all these are, we have how many columns are there? One, two, three, four columns are there, right? We have loan table is there, loan equal to loan number, loan amount. So two columns are there. We have two tables, customer and loan. Here customer and loan is a entity, but the attributes of the customer is customer ID, customer name, customer street, and a customer city. The attributes of the loan is loan number, amount, right? So this is about attributes example, right? Next one, the domain, the set of permitted values for each attribute. How many values can taken by the each and every attribute, which means that each and every attribute having their own data type, which is called as or domain. Based on the domain, and then they'll take the values, right? Attributes type. What are the different types of attributes inside a ER model? Here, simple attribute is there, composite attributes are there, single valued attributes are there, multi valued attributes are there. For example, if you take multi valued attributes, attribute name, phone number, right? If you take a employee table, the employee table, employee number, employee name, employee phone number column is there. In that employee phone number is one of the attribute of the employee. It has a multiple values. It has a multiple values. Each and every person having more than one phone number, which is called as a multi-valued attribute. Nowadays, people are having more than one phone number only. So because they are having multiple business are there, so multiple contacts are there. They are maintaining one geo number, and another one is BSNL, or the third number is, some people are maintaining the three more numbers are there. So that is called as multi-valued attribute. Multi-valued attribute. The multi-valued attribute example is phone number. The phone number having more than one value, which is called as multi-valued attribute, right? Derived attributes can be computed from it can be computed from other attributes. Age, given date of birth, right? Age. For example, address, right? Address, we have address. So street is on type of address, and some what is that? Some, for suppose if you take age, based on the given date of birth, we can find age, like that. We can derive different types of attributes from the age to date of birth to age. This is one type of attribute. Next, composite attributes. What is the example for composite attributes? So these are all composite attributes. Composite: name, address. So name consisting of three values. This is called as composite attribute. Okay. The name consisting of more than three attributes, that is called as composite attribute. If you see here, address, street is there, city is there, state is there, postal code is there. All these are comes under address. So this is composite attribute. So individual first name, middle and initial, last name, individual, these are all called component attributes. Component attributes. Again, the street is categorized into three parts: street number, street name, apartment number. Again, this one is acting as a composite attribute. But this is individual street number and street name and apartment name. All these are single, what is that? Component attributes. Component attribute, right? Next, the relationship sets. Already we have seen one example previous class. How what is relationship, right? Here, the ER symbol, the entity relationship notation for this relationship is diamond symbol. We know that a relationship is a association among several attributes, right? So we have a customer entity is there, we have account entity is there. In between the relationship depositor is there, right? Depositor. This is ER model. We can represent this one, this customer in rectangle, account in one rectangle, depositor in you know that what is that symbol? Diamond symbol. These two are connected with lines. That is relationship. That is relationship, right? Right? Okay. A relationship set is a mathematical relation among n greater than or equal to two entities. N greater than or equal to two entities. Remember, right? Each taken from the entity sets. This is the notation for the entity relationship set. So it should be n greater than or equal to two entity sets, where E1, E2, E and so on E relationships. What are the different types of relationship? Here we can represent like this. Hayes, comma, what is that? Customer name and account number belongs to depositor relationship. Like that, we can represent in relationship set model. This is one of the representation of the relationships at borrower, right? This is customer table. We know that this is loan table. These are the relationships. How who is the relation? This one, Johns is related with L17 and Smith is related L32. Like that, we can represent. This is the borrower relationship. This is the borrower relationship. The relationship sets are here. An attribute can also be property of relationship set, right? For instance, the deposit relationship set between entity set customer and account may have the attribute access date. Here, this is one entity, this is another entity, this is a relationship set. That relationship set is customer deposit access date. Okay, this is a diamond symbol. Can represent a diamond symbol. Feel that this is equal to the relationship symbol, right? So diamond symbol, it looks not good, so that we can represent some other format. So this is a relationship set. So okay, Johnson, that access date is 24 May 1996. So the account number is A101. Like that, we can represent some other relationship model. Next, we need to find what is degree of a relationship set. What is degree, right? Which means that the number of entity sets that participated in a relationship, right? So we have unary degree is there, and binary is there, ternary is there, right? If you call the single entity participating with a single relation, that is called a unary. If the two entities are participated with the relationship set, that is called as binary, right? More than three, if it is three, that is ternary. Like that, we can represent a relationship set. Here, the relationship set that involves two entities sets are binary. That degree is two. If the two entities are participating in the relationship set, that is called as the degree is two. For example, we have customer, we have a loan, in between depositor is there, right? In between depositor is there, right? How many entities are there? Customer is there, accounts is there. These two entities are participating with a depositor relationship. If the depositor relationship is shared with two entities, that is called as a binary relationship. The degree of this one is two, right? Generally, most relationship set is a database systems are binary only, right? And the relationship set may involve more than two entities, right? Suppose the employees of a bank may have jobs, responsibilities at multiple branches with different jobs at different branches. We have three entities are there. One is employee entity is there, another one is job is there, another one is branch is there, another one is branch is there. So these three are different entities connected with some other relationship that is called as entity relationship, right? So concentrate on these. Here three entities are there, so that the degree for this set is three, right? The relationship between more than two entity sets are rare. The most relationships are binary only, right? This is about degree. Mapping cardinalities. We know that this is very easy. Mapping cardinalities we have here. So in ER model, the ER model can be expressed in different types of mapping cardinalities. This is mostly useful in binary relationship models only. The mapping cardinalities are one to one path, one to many to one, many to many. These are all different types of chances in ER model design, right? Mapping cardinality. This is a one-to-one relationship. A1 to B1 only, A2 to B2 only. One to one only. There is no A1 to B2, right? This is one-to-one example. This is one to many. If you see here A1 to B1 is there, A1 to B2. Here A1 to B1 only. This is one to one. This is one to many B1 to B2. So that one to many symbol. Some elements in A and B may not be mapped to any elements in the other set, right? So this is also some chances there, right? Next, many to one. A1, A2 is mapping with B1 only. Many, more than one is there, mapping with single B1. This is many to one. And many to many. A1, A2 is mapped with B1, B2, A1 with B1, A1, A2 with B1, A1 with B1, B2, like that. By seeing this diagram, we can understand easily. No need to explain more here, right? Next, mapping cardinalities affect ER diagrams, right? Can make access data, access date, an attribute of account instead of a relationship attribute. If each account can have only one customer, each account can have only one customer. The relationship from account to customer is many to customer. Account to customer is many to many to many to one, or equivalently customer to account is one to many. See here, so many to one, from customer, from accounts to, this is accounts, this is a customer. So customer, what is that, account to customer, this is account A101, A201. These two are mapped with Johnson only. Many to one, right? And accounts to one to many, accounts to one to many, one to many is there. John to one to many, right? So John's one to one. Here Johnson one to A101 to 201 and one to many, right? Like that we can use different types of mappings. ER diagrams. Here already we know the rectangle represent already discussed here. So here the diagram customer, this is the loan, this is the borrower relationship. These are the attributes. These are the attributes of the customer. These are the attributes of the loan. When you look here, customer underscore ID. This is underline. This is underline. This is underline, right? So can you tell me, anyone in the class, what is the representation of this underline with the ellipse, underline with the ellipse? Anyone in the class? Chandrasekhar, hello?
Sir,
Anyone in the class? Can you tell me ellipse with underline? Or can you tell me what is the representation of double ellipse? Not double rectangle means what? Anyone in the class?
weak entity, sir.
Weak entity, right? What is that? Double diamond symbol means what?
Weak relationship.
These relationships.
Weak relationship. Very good. So the next ellipse represents what?
Attributes.
Attributes. Rectangle represents what?
Entity.
Very good. Lines represents what?
Uh, links, sir.
Links. Very good. Very good. So here, look at here. If you see here, this is a labeled attribute. All these are labeled attributes only, but this attribute is underlined labeled attribute. If you underline this one, this is called as primary key. It represents unique value. Where in the case of customer name and customer street, customer city, all these are maybe repeated same, but customer ID it should not be repeated because yeah, but for suppose if you take a student entity, the student name number, student name, student street, student city, all these are same. Next to student all ticket number should not be repeated, so that is unique. So that those numbers which can be represented in a unique mode, so that we have to represent in ER model and underline that attribute. Ellipse, label with ellipse, that label is underlined, that is called as a primary key constraint. It has primary key constraint, right? Whatever it is, whatever the key, it may be primary key, it may be foreign key, it may be super key, it may be candidate key, it may be composite key, whatever it is. If the label is in ellipse, that is underlined, that is called as key attribute only. Remember, key attribute only. So here loan, if you see here loan underscore number, this is underlined, this is this is primary key. The primary key of the loan is loan underscore number, right? This is one of the key attribute of the loan, right? Like that we have to remember the understanding of this ER diagram, right? So for suppose look at here, already I told weak entity. If the customer doesn't have this attribute customer underscore ID, imagine that there is no attribute, the customer having only customer and customer name, customer street and customer city. Then we call it as, we can represent this customer in what symbol? Can you tell me? Did you understand my concept? For suppose if the customer does not have this primary key, only customer name and customer street and customer city, then how to represent this customer? What is the symbol to represent for this customer?
Double rectangle, sir.
Double rectangle. Why?
No primary key available,
Very,
sir.
very good, very good. There is no proper primary key for this customer, so that we have to represent this customer in a double rectangle. So double rectangle. So automatically, this relationship is participating with weak entities, so that this relationship also called as weak, so that we have to represent in a double diamond symbol, right? Understand? Right. Next, this is one of the overall diagram for this customer table. So different persons can design these ER diagrams different ways. For suppose if I give university database design, construct university database design ER diagram model. If I give 67 members in our class, so 67 members, if they do not copy the one from other, if they will draw individually, 67 members can draw the ER diagram 67 ways, right? So that say different persons can think different ways, so that they will draw different manner, right? In the same way, here we have a customer table. Okay, customer is there, right? Here customer, how many, so many attributes are there? Here attributes also having their own attributes. Here this is customer ID underline, this is you know already, this is primary key, right? Phone number, multi-valued attribute, already we have seen multi-valued attribute can be represented in what symbol? Double ellipse. Double ellipse, yes or no? Is it double ellipse?
Sure.
Hello. Okay, double ellipse. All are sleeping or what? Hello.
Sir.
Hello.
Sir.
All are, So the outside climate is very cool. All are sleeping or what? Hello.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
All are listening my class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's like a jolapot or what? Okay, right? The multi-value can be represented in phone number and date of birth. This is also single attribute. No, here when you see here name, the name having first name, second name, composite attribute. Composite attribute, right? It is having more than one attribute is there. This is called a name is a composite attribute. Here customer having address. Address having their own attributes, different more than one attributes is there, right? Street having the already we have seen an example previous class, previous slides. This is also composite attribute like that. So here customer age, double what is dotted ellipse, this is derived attribute. Derived attribute from this age we can represent middle age, like that we can represent date of birth, like that we can represent. This is one example for understand what is multi-valued, what is composite attribute, what is derived attribute, right? Relationship sets with attributes. Relationship sets with attributes. This is a simple diagram. Customer, account with a depositor having their own attributes. So here one more attribute is there. Relationship sets with attribute. Here this is having on attribute access underscore date attribute is there. Okay, this relationship set having some other attribute which is called a relationship sets with attribute access date. Based on the access date already we have seen one example. This is access date, this is customer details, this is account details. So the access date is one of the relationship. Based on the access date we can associate it a customer and account. This is also one of the representation of the ER model. Next, we have different types of roles in entity relationship model. We can see in the next class entity relationship model, and we have labeled diagrams are there. So how many entities are participating? One-to-one relation, cardinality constraints, how to apply cardinality constraints towards the entity relationship models, one-to-one and one-to-many, many-to-many. We can see in the next class. I'll stop here. Already time is 9:40, and what is the participation of the entity, full participation, total participation. So many examples are there. By seeing examples, we can understand easily, no doubt about it. So, but in final exam, we can get more than one question from this ER model. This is very important, and by no need to read the theory. By seeing that example, by seeing the diagram, we can write easily. Once you go through the PPT, once already we have listened this class, and go through the PPT, we can understand easily. No doubt about it, right? I'll stop here. Okay, Chandrasekhar.
Sir, చెప్పండి sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I'll stop here 9:40. Okay. Quiz details నేను సెండ్ చేస్తాను. మ్యాక్సిమం క్విజ్ డీటెయిల్స్ అప్లోడ్ చేసి ఉంటారు, రైట్? చంద్రశేఖర్ లిటిల్ బిట్ హెల్త్ కొంచెం బాగా డిస్టర్బ్ అయింది, అందుకని నేను మొన్న క్లాస్. ఓకేనా?
Sir.
ఓకేనా?
Okay, sir.
ఒకసారి క్విజ్ లింక్ చూడండి, ఒకసారి క్విజ్ అటెంప్ట్ చేసేయండి అయితే, రైట్?
Sure, sir.
ఓకే అమ్మా, థ్యాంక్ యూ అమ్మా, థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్.
Thank you, sir.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
ఓకే.